Hi Rakshit, welcome to the Tech and Sports Sportscast with Pawan. First of all, I'd like to thank you for accepting my invitation and coming to the podcast. Before going into the detailed information and world of shooting, let us give our guest a small brief introduction about yourself. What have you achieved in the sport, and what exactly made you come into this sport? So please go ahead.
Hi, Pawan. So it's been quite some time that we interacted face to face. I think the last time we interacted was mostly on badminton during my engineering days. And yeah, thanks for this opportunity that you could get my attention probably in terms of shooting sport. Now that the Olympics is making a lot of name in terms of shooting, thanks to all the legends who have achieved in the sport. Yeah. So yeah, that's on the background. I mean, maybe we can continue with the achievements part or the training section, where I started picking up shooting way back in 2015, 16 time when I just completed with my masters. And I just wanted to lock some time in the evening playing some sport. Football arenas were not there in my town back then, and cricket arenas were too crowded. So I thought I should focus on tennis, table tennis, or badminton or shooting. I felt I'm too big in size to play badminton at being to play very agile. So I thought I'll pick up shooting. One of my friends had posted in his Instagram stories where he was shooting a 25-meter pistol. I was like, wow, we see these kind of things on in movies and all the action stuff. So I thought, why don't I give a try? Just go spend some time, 1 or 2 hours in the evening, and picked up my first rifle way back in 2015. Then I don't think from that day I've looked back, nor felt bad for picking up the sport. So I think it was 15 days from the day I picked up the rifle. I think I won the second place in the Karnataka State rifle shooting competition. It was for novice, and it was on a basic rifle. That was my first taste of medal, thanks to my coach, though. Back then, I think pistol shooting was not one of my favorite events. I wanted to be a rifle shooter, and because it fascinated me, because they wear jackets, they wear specialized jackets, they have those special equipments, they wear those headgear, and it used to look like, am I doing a sniper shooting or something like that? So that fascinated me, and yeah, 2 3 months down the line, I did practice basic air rifle, and suddenly I got fascinated by pistol shooting because people were wearing a track pant and t-shirt, and they used to shoot. Just like the memes that are currently trending, like one hand in the pocket and they just go shoot, win the medals, and get back home in one suitcase. Need not have to carry 2 or 3 suitcases, one for jacket, one for rifle, and so on and so forth. So I thought I should give a try. So I went back to my coach and told him, like, sir, I want to give a try in pistol shooting. I think I can do well. That was my first impression. So he was very welcoming. He did not feel that, oh, this guy spent 4 months in rifle, and now he's all of a sudden he wants to switch to pistol. So he was like, yeah, fine, we'll give a try. And the selection trials for the South India rankings was also going on. I think it was just one day, I guess. Yeah, it was just one day for the selection trials for the South Zone. That is when I told him, like, and he was completely wholeheartedly he welcomed and said, like, yeah, we'll give a try. Maximum that what he can do is not get selected. That's it, right? And you're not prepared for it. So we trained for a day. He taught me how to hold, how to do grip, how to squeeze the trigger, how to see the sights, the basic dynamics of it. And him being a marksman from the Army Marksmanship Unit, which is based out of Mau, and himself being a 37-time national champion, national record holder, Federation Cup record holder. He has trained 2012 Olympian Mr. Vijay Kumar as well under his leadership in Mau. So I think he was able to pass on the techniques to me, and the next day I went and shot. I think it was the state top score, if I'm not wrong. I think it was 365, I guess. The very first time I shot, I didn't know it was a good score or a bad score. And then the cards went to the targets went to evaluation with Mr. P.N. Prakash, Karnataka's 2016 Olympian. So he evaluated my paper and he said, he was like, you shot really good. Since how many years have you been practicing? I was like, I've been practicing for the last 24 hours. So that's one fascinating fact. So I felt I could do something in pistol shooting. That is when I started picking up pistol. It's mostly because of my coach's background of 25 meters. He, at his time, probably he was the only shooter who could replicate performance efficiency in both 10 meters and 25 meters event. So hence that's passed on to me, I guess. So I also practice 25 meters events as well as 10 meters event simultaneously. Um, yeah, that's on how I started pistol shooting.
So now that you have spoken about all your achievements and all, I wanted to tell my viewers about detailed achievements of Rakshit in shooting. This is a huge list, viewers, because take some time. I'm going to tell you one by one his achievements. This is not something small which he has achieved, especially training one day. This is not possible. I don't know, but this is what he has done. Just let me tell about all these achievements. So he has represented India salvo team 51st Grand Prix of Liberation in Czech Republic. Won three team bronze medals each in air pistol, standard pistol, and centerfire pistol. Represented India CDRA team in international shooting competition of Hanover, Germany. Won team silver in 10-meter air pistol. Holds record of attaining Rion Star shot certification in all four pistol events in one go during 65th and 66th national championship respectively. Highest rank top 30 All India 2019 national championship. First Mysorean to win international level medal in pistol shooting. Mysore, we both are from the same city, yeah. So state Olympic gold medalist in 25-meter standard pistol. South India ranked number one in 25-meter standard pistol 2022. Karnataka state ranked number one in 10-meter air pistol 2019 and 2022. Karnataka state gold medalist in all events, three-time state number one in air pistol. Karnataka only qualified rapid fire pistol shooter representing the state in nationals. Won 93 medals in total at state, zonal, national, and international events. And I'm sure that. So, Rakshit, you were talking about your passion towards shooting and how you started and how you were attracted to the gear what the other shooters were wearing and you wanted to start shooting. So why don't you explain what all the events does Olympics have in shooting, and if you could give a detailed information about all the events which are happening in the Olympics and what are the gears, equipments, and some brief rules if you could tell us.
Yeah, I'm sure. I think it's time to deep down the events that are held in the Olympics. Widely, these are not restricted events only for Olympics, but there are other events as well. But mainly, we'll be focusing only on the Olympic events of rifle, pistol, and trap and skeet. So as I said, there are three events in shooting. We Indians are very familiarized because of 2004 Athens medal, a silver medal won by Colonel Rajvardhan Singh Rathod. So that is when we all remember the silver medal from the trap and skeet. There back then it was double trap. The double trap event was there, so we remember that as a double trap. And then the very famous Abhinav Bindra's gold medal from 2008 Beijing Olympics. That's when the rifle shooting got picked up in India, and then not the least, 2012 silver medal by Captain Vijay Kumar. He won a silver medal at the London Olympics in rapid fire pistol. So India has achieved medals in all three quotas or all three events of shooting. So we'll start with rifle shooting because it is only very attractive because people wear jacket. It looks like a sniper rifle, and they are very cool, calm, composed to the outside world. So the heartbeat might be 120 or 150. We never know, but yeah, that's we'll start with rifle shooting. So rifle shooting has a very common um, education background, I would say, with all the people who studied from fifth standard to 10th standard, because we most of us study geometry, and we know this term called concentric circles, where you have a common origin, but you have a different diameter. So rifle shooting is very similar to that. The technique of rifle shooting is very similar to that because there is back sight, front sight, and the target. The target is also a circle, then the front sight is also a circle, and the back sight is also a circle. So you align all three sides in a straight line, and you end up hitting a bullseye. So that's the technique of rifle shooting, and it's supported by jacket and trousers. A stand is not for shooting, but when you want to rest after taking one single shot. So that's on the rifle. They also use few headgears like cap. Some of them use them the frame where they use a iris, or sometimes they use a lens, because I have a power in my eye, like say plus 0.5. I have a range there. So if I want to use a specialized lens, we can use a shooting frame. So that's one part of the what do you call rifle shooting, and that's part of the gears. And yeah, the interesting fact would be that you might be asking, like, what if the rifle or pistol is shared, or if does it change from place to place? You would have seen in movies where sniper shooters giving clicks, checking the wind speed, and so on and so forth. So I don't think those kind of stuff would be here, but there is something called as clicks, where you want to position the shots where you would fired and zero it down. When I say zero it down, it is again, I come back to geometry. It has four quadrants, and the origin is called as 0, comma 0. So that's called zeroing. So yeah, in the qualifications, there would be, and this qualification is common across rifle as well as pistol. In rifle, it is like in rifle and pistol, the qualification looks like 1 hour 15 minutes of time. That's 75 minutes. And to prior this 75 minutes, there would be a 15-minute sighting time where you can calibrate the sights. You can see where would the shots have been fired, and you want to calibrate it, recalibrate it, and bring it down to 0, comma 0. So that's the sighting time, and you can fire unlimited number of rounds. And these rifle take one shot load. So yeah, you load one round, then take the position, shoot one round, and check where it has fallen, or shoot a couple of more rounds, see the grouping in which quadrant has it fallen first, second, or third, or fourth, and you can by giving clicks you can zero it down. So having said that, so you have 15 minutes time for that. Post your 15 minutes time, then it's the qualification time, the big time for 75 minutes, where you get to shoot 60 record shots. Anything less will be a did not finish. Anything more would be an illegal shot, and there would be a penalty for that. So usually the system stops at the 60th shot. So this is the same for air pistol and air rifle. This is the qualification base, and they have decimal scores in rifle because the competition is too tight. People get to lose to play final with point 0.1. People get to lose bronze medal and or gold medal in just point 0.1, just a whisker of it. So that's the accuracy that is required for rifle shooting, and that's in decimals. So post this, there is a common final for men and women, and it's separate. It's a separate finals for men and women, but the format is common between rifle and pistol. So it has 10 rounds they need to fire in the order of 5 rounds per 4 minute 10 seconds. So 250 seconds would be given, and 5 rounds would be fired. Post that, after every two shots, there would be one elimination. Top eight get qualified, and the first one to be eliminated would be finishing in the eighth place. So this is common across air rifle, and air pistol formats. So that's on the air rifle. Um, then we have pistol shooting. Pistol is a very smaller equipment, and people have to see it in a different perspective, I would say. My perspective, or the general perspective across the globe, the nations who follow cricket, would be wickets. So we Indians are common. We have played cricket, and we know what are stumps and bails and the wickets. So the sight picture of the pistol is very sweet. It's just like three wickets, and they are equidistant. The either sides of the wicket, the other side wickets on either sides are the back side we can consider, and the mid stump can be called as the front side. People tend to focus, I mean, everybody focus on the front side and aim at the target, probably at 6 o'clock. That's the most favorite position where everybody tries to release the shot. So that's the side picture of pistol shooting. And it's common across all the pistol events. There is nothing called as concentric circles, or nothing comes in circles, and pistol shooting, it's all square. So we focus on the front side, aim at the target at one particular area, and then squeeze the trigger very as smooth as possible, not slow, as smooth as possible, and take the shot. There would be recoil, which is physics. Obviously, that's why most people love to play firearms, because you get that feedback from the weapon. Yeah, so that's on the pistol shooting, and there are two different kind of events here. One is the 10-meter air pistol, men and women category. Then there is 25-meter rapid fire pistol for men, where you get to shoot five different targets. Maybe the one that you are seeing on my background, it has five different targets. That's called one bay. So one bay has five different targets. You stand in the center of the target, load all 5 rounds, and under 8 seconds, you need to shoot 5 rounds. Similarly, in 6 seconds and in 4 seconds, I repeat, 4 seconds, you need to fire 5 rounds at each different target. So for a right-hand shooter, someone like me, we start from the fifth target, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and complete it. The series would get completed under 4.10 seconds. The last recorded shot has to be within 4.10 seconds. So that's on the rapid fire pistol. For women, it is called 25-meter sports pistol, where on the extreme side of my background, you have a small target where you get to see on the target number 10. So that's the precision series. Their match would be divided into precision series and dueling series. Dueling is also called as the rapid stage shooting. In the precision series, you are given a time amount of 5 minutes to fire 5 rounds, because the target is small, and you get to fire 5 rounds under 5 minutes. Post this qualification of precision series, you have the dueling series. In dueling series, the format calls for you have to take one shot under 3 seconds and 7 seconds of rest, where you should not keep the pistol on the box or on the table. No rest in between. The hand has to be hanging at 45 degrees down. And when the green light or the beep sound comes in, the shooter would lift the weapon and take the shot under 3 seconds. So that's on the 25-meter sports pistol. When it comes to trap and skeet is more of a fun event, I would say, because there are two houses where the pigeons are thrown, not the live pigeons, but the clay pigeons. They are circular in shape, and they are thrown around at 100 kilometers per hour speed. They fly, so there are 2 rounds that are two bullets. I would say it's not bullets; it's called cartridges. Two cartridges. One cartridge would usually house around 22 ball bearings of some particular size. When it's thrown away, these 22 ball bearings spread across around 5 feet or 4 feet in spread, and they should hit the clay pigeon. So that's when it's called a hit or no. So two houses would throw the pigeon. That's called trap. And skeet is where the shooter would stand at 8 different positions. And from there, the pigeon would be thrown in front. From there, they have to take the shot. So that's on the skeet.
Nice, Rakshit. So this is something which most of the people wouldn't be knowing, because shooting is something what I uh, think that as it's a very tactical game actually. People think that, oh, it's just a gun, just a aim, we just need to shoot and the bullet, or maybe even when we take arrow actually, archery, so it takes a lot of precision and people I correct me if I am wrong, people doesn't know that shooters actually run for miles and miles to get their heart rate down. What do you want to say about that? Actually, I've heard. Actually, I've seen when I'm conversing with you. Maybe I think maybe a year back, I guess. You were talking. You were telling me that you're running. You're gonna call me later or something. So, what exactly? Why do shooters run?
We have a very typical example here. Uh, yeah, running, swimming, that's where the heart rate is stabilized. Let's assume there is a lot of fat accumulation in our food that we eat and we don't exercise. So the heart rate is always pumping because the body needs to work and there is constant effort on burning the fat. So the running, as in we don't do very short distance, something at a very higher pace. We would do constant jogging and running, which helps us keeps the heart rate stable to an extent, and that helps us in the match pressure. When you are having a match pressure, I think my coach would probably ask me to do 10 push-ups or run very for a short sprint and come back and then shoot because to match the heartbeat. So during a match, it would be somewhere like 120, 130, 140. It depends on the shooter. It depends on the shooter. So that's when I run or I do a short sprint of jog around 3, 4 kilometers before my match, some 3 or 4 hours before, so that my body gets used to that heartbeat. It doesn't say this is alien for me. I never had this kind of a feeling. So my mind recognizes that kind of a heart rate and it says it's just normal. You can continue with your regular shooting. So yeah, most of the shooters are technically and physically fit, even though they come in all shapes and size.
So just tell me one thing. We have in when you come to let us take an example of an endurance sport actually. So most
Hmm.
of these big athletes, or even the people who are starting endurance sport, they do something called as aerobic runs. So where it's something called as building an engine. So keeping your heart rate in certain zone
Correct.
and keeping it under
Correct.
certain number of beats per minute and other things. So
Correct.
does this help in shooting also? Because when we take shooting, it is something like even point one. I mean, I think it is something point one millimeters difference also make it huge difference when it comes to an international event like Olympics and all. So does running, swimming, or even any aerobic exercises help in this kind of taking a proper aim or something like that?
There are two factors here. One is running to it, and the other factor is yoga and meditation. So I don't think the people who are not into the sport or not into a lifestyle where they are looking for their breathing pattern or they don't observe the breathing pattern. So people don't work on meditation. The meditation not in the sense that I am doing it for as part of prayer, but to focus on my inner self, on concentrating on a particular object or on a particular topic or on a particular job. I mean, it need not have to be done at home, sitting at a place for 15 minutes and doing breathing pattern catches. So I usually tend to do an activity for an hour, be it in office. Maybe I don't tend to touch my phone. I mean, usually have a wearable watch, I mean, smart watch, and we have headphones all the time. So, but then the phone should not be distracting. The meditation for me mainly comes from focusing on one single work. If I'm releasing a purchase order, then it's releasing a purchase order. If I'm doing some analytics, then it's only analytics, no other distractions for me. I don't entertain in between. So post 1 hour, I go check my mobile, check my messages, what kind of messages. If it's really urgent, I have it on my watch. I see if I have to respond or not. That's my part of meditation. And it's just focusing on one particular job. So shooting is also focusing on one particular job. Either you do it for 60 minutes or 75 minutes, or in rapid fire, you complete the match and win the Olympics in 32 seconds. It's 8 seconds, 6 seconds, and 4 second series. So your focus has to be at the most. Your focus has to be in prime every single time you load and lift the weapon.
So now that you were talking about wearing watch and how the technology has helped you to concentrate, actually meditate, the technology has gone till the meditation. So what exactly would
Yeah,
you
true.
like to talk about the technological advancement in shooting, actually comparative? Maybe let us take 10 or 15 years back, how the shooting was and how
Hmm. Hmm.
now the shooting has evolved technologically. And also let us can you give us a brief information about how shooting has reached more people with the help of technology?
Um, with more reach of technology, maybe I would say it is mostly the social media. If we are talking only about the reach, but then the technological advancement in shooting, yeah, I can give an example from probably 20 years back, or yeah, so maybe in Sydney Olympics or just prior to Sydney Olympics, it was all paper targets, and every time a shooter takes a shot, it had to be wheeled back and then check the score. I mean, not 20 years, but probably much before that as well. Now that the electronic scoring systems are there, the one that you see in the background is from the CEOs. They are the ISSF authorized target manufacturers. They manufacture for 10 meters, 25, 50, and 300 meters as well. So what they do is you see a system on my right side part of the head. So that's the system, that's a display unit. And once you fire on the target, the scores are instantly displayed on the target. I mean, that's a feedback system. That's how the computers work, but not that the shooters require it very immediately. We just need to shoot immediately on the right place at the right time. But then it's just a feedback system that you get it from the targets, and that's a very phenomenal technological advancement, I would say. And most people use mechanical. I prefer mechanical trigger, having used electronic triggers as well. They are fast, but sometimes they are not reliable as well. I mean, not reliable. I should not be making a comment, but sometimes when we as shooters or athletes miss to take care of the weapon, or something might happen. We never know. So the electronics might give up. Not that it doesn't happen in mechanical triggers. If it goes, a spring might go for me. If it goes, a nut or a bolt might go. In electronics, if a circuit goes, I have to replace the complete circuit. I need to have a complete circuit board, spare circuit board ready for the replacement. The replacement is common, but still the factor, I feel that mechanical trigger equipments are slightly convenient, I would say. And that's one advancement with triggering system, that's electronic triggering what we use. And the manufacturing method, I don't think there is much of a change, because barrels have been made since 13th, 14th century, and people have become experts in barrel making, be it Blicher or Anschutz or Morini. They just make the perfect drips. The total indicated runout itself would be less than 10 micron. So when I say
So
10 micron, it's a very, very close margin, and they are very highly precise.
now that we are talking about the equipments, and you even spoke about how you like manual than electronic, which is your favorite equipment?
My favorite equipment. Hmm. That's a tricky part. See, okay, I have favorites in all three categories of events. Maybe I'll start with rifle. I like Walther, Walther equipments. Those rifles are they really look beautiful because of the engineering design. That's the rifle. I put a full stop here because I just like it because of the aesthetic appeal that they give it. And with pistol, Pardini is one of my favorite equipment in air and firearms. Somehow I feel very connected with this manufacturer, Pardini. So it's just like love at first sight for me. I started with Pardini, and I tested all the other equipments are there, and which are in pistol. Somehow the love for Pardini has never decreased. So I'm back to Pardini again in air pistol after having used all the equipment. So that's my personal choice. That's my personal choice again. And in 25 meters also, I prefer using Partini. It's my one of my favorite equipment.
So, what about your future goals and aspiration in the sport?
Yeah, I'm being very optimistic here when you say future goals. Obviously, when an athlete picks up a sport, everybody wants to play Olympics, but it's how dedicated you are to the sport and how the environment surrounding you supports you to the in the sport. Um, let's say we are there in the school. We had our aspirations to become. I played karate and I was a national gold and silver medalist in junior karate. So that stopped there. All that my aspiration was to become a national medalist in karate. That's it. That's done. Then I went to swimming. Swimming, I wanted to have a state level medal and no further continuation. But when I picked up pistol shooting, the very moment when you start shooting good, your dreams of achieving the higher levels is always there. Once you start scoring good at state, you want to win South Zone, you want to win zonals, then the Mablankar national novice, then you want to win the nationals, you want to go play for India, you want to play World Cup, and you want to play Asia, you want to play Olympics. That's the peak. That's the truth. But we always have to understand the realities of how much dedicated are we and how much the environment surrounding me is responding to it. It has to be from the family. It has to be at your workplace. Most of us, what we see is people who are employed, they don't take up the sport. One, because they need to run the family. They can't give the time that for the sport that they love. And it's also the age factor. The age factor, lucky that chess players, than the shooters, we don't have it. I mean,
I think you're
if your
wrong
hand-eye
in this
coordination
because
is good,
someone has proved it wrong recently in the Olympics, and the meme has gone very viral. I think does age factor really matters in shooting?
age factor, no, but your physical condition matters.
Okay.
Age as a number, definitely not. Definitely not. Your hand-eye coordination is good. You're able to judge. You are quick. You are agile. Requirement of the event. If you're slow, you're shooting slow event. But your hand-eye coordination is good. You're able to judge the coordination. You're able to take the shot. Then we have many instances. We had the 51-year-old Turkish guy who won our team silver this year in the Olympics, and in 2012 or 2008 there was a 60 or 62-year-old Chinese guy who won a 50-meter pistol event, which 50-meter pistol event back then was in Olympics, and it still is called a king of shooting sport. Uh, so yeah, age is never a number in shooting sport.
So, Rakshit, now we spoke about now the Olympics is happening, and there's a new trending conversation that we are 1.4 billion population, but we don't have enough medals. But the other countries who doesn't have as much population as ours are winning more medals than India. This is a conversation which comes up every 4 years, and once the Olympics are over, it's going to get cold. So, what do you think
Correct.
we as a nation and we youths and the parents and the future generation should look at sports as how it should be taken and how we can win more medals? And also, can you elaborate? What is your take on are medals everything in sport, or is there something bigger than medals in sports?
Of course, any day there is something bigger than medal in the sport, but still, on record, if you want to register yourself to be one of those recognized at the Olympics, at the World Championship, it needs to be a medal. It cannot be a participant. If you're a participant, you're just another participant. No, no doubts, no harm. But if you want to be under the medal list, yes, you got to be under the medal list. So that's the way. That's the harsh truth of the sport, be it education or sport. I would say you just want to pass your exam, 10th exam, and just get out of the school. Yeah, you can still, or you want to be in a distinction, or which is decorated by the people, which is decorated, which is given importance. We people emphasize on if you want to take engineering, you have to study PCM. If you want to be a doctor, you have to study PCB. So that's the preference here. It's a decorated preference, I would say. The same kind of decorated preference we had in our, at least my generation of people would, some people who are in there in the 25, 30s, they would understand the pressure of studying for IIT exams, AEEE exams. I don't know if it's AEEE is still there or not because I'm not aware of it, but AEEE, maybe I prepared for AEEE. I prepared for the state board exams. I even gave an entrance exam for IIT, which I don't know what happened, but those were the decorated importance that people gave during our generation. But the same amount of importance wasn't there for the sport, probably because our parents wanted us to settle where we have a future, where our futures could get concreted. But having said this, MJ, it's absolutely no different. There are people from my generation and your generation also who have taken up the sport and they've made big names. Not excluding cricket at all. Cricket, we can see Rahul Dravid how nicely he has shaped up the Indian cricket team. It's not about just the sport, the money that the sport carries. It's also about the true character of a person, I would say. We also have those kind of examples in badminton. I don't know how to pick up the names. Pilala Gopichand and Padkone. So those are two big names that we see in the sport. Not that the sport has reduced and it's only for the affordable class. And the same with shooting. I always take some inspiration from Tomoyuki Matsuda, who is a Japanese shooter. He's a full-time belt force or a defense guy. He's a police or a cop in Japanese police department. He practices at the whenever he finds his free time. He's a world champion. He's a Olympian. Has he taken excuse? It's just the true character of a person, how much he wants to dedicate his life. Yeah, that's the thing about it. But given that in our country scenario, I would still come back and say it's the deliberate scaffolding that is required at every stage of a life as a sports guy. In school, we never went back saying that I don't want to join the sport. We used to go and tell our parents that I want the sport. I want to be in the sport. You pay the fees. I'll just go play and come back. That was the enthusiasm that we had during our childhood, and our parents encouraged it. But going forward, when we had a 10th board exams, so people started giving more emphasis on studies. Yeah, once you are done that, you are still free to choose the sport. Nobody asks you to stop at 10th. Nobody would ask you to stop the sport at 12th. Nobody would ask you to stop the sport after you can completing your graduation. You need to speak. It is we as athletes, it's our responsibility to go and speak where people would give us importance, or where we feel the importance is needed in that part of the life. No, I go back to my boss and say, boss, this is what it is, and we plan our activities. That way, we both are open-minded there. Same way at home, same way with the family. You need to be open-minded and say, I want to achieve this. Be it at family, you might say you get let's assume God's grace, you get qualified at Olympics, and you will have to take sabbatical leave for 1 year or 2 years. You would have to go back to your family and say, I would be taking sabbatical leave for 2 years and I would be preparing for this event. It is their choice whether they want to encourage or not, but it's still your voice has to be voiced out at first place. You don't speak, you don't assume. Assumption is mother of all screw ups, I would say.
That's true. That's true. Uh, what do you like to now that we are coming for the end of this sports cast? I What is one message which you want to tell to the kids of nowadays if they want to pick up shooting?
Rightly pointed out, MJ. I don't think the PUBG generation also would be there, but they're more focused on killing things on the virtual world. But there is a real life event which gives you a thrill of physics, and yeah, you get to learn geometry, you get to learn physics in the sport. You get the practical application, and you're shooting at a stagnant target which is not even live. So that's one, and that's for the PUBG generation. But going ahead and still going ahead talking about the future generation, the kids that I see are less focused, I would say, and their ability to focus on single activity has this predominantly reduced, And this is one sport I feel they can channelize all their energy and focus, be it for 10, 15 seconds or 75 minutes, which is a huge time, even for any adult, I would give it, say. So this sport gives you physics, it gives you focus, it asks you to show your true character. I don't think any other sport would match up to shooting, because every other sport where the cheering comes from the crowd and you would be feel full with adrenaline rush and you would be pumped up to defeat the opponent. Here, the opponent is all yourself. You just have a target in front of you. You can't have a high adrenaline rush, or you can't be very low also. You have to maintain a normal stature, normal physic, normal mentality here. I can't go high when I'm shooting. I still have a dead target in front of me, and I just need to be calm, cool, and composed and take the shot. So, yeah, this sport gives you the calmness. It gives you peace of mind. It also gives you to check your ability on focus and your sights, and as well as how good of a marksman you are. So it is just the true character of yours coming out when you're performing at the highest levels. Yeah.
Thank you, Rakshit, for taking time and coming to my sportscast. This is my first episode, and you will be the special guest who has given your valuable time to make this successful conversation. And in the end, I would also like to point out few things to my audience that. When it comes to sport, you need to see sport as a sport. You can't see that as a side business, or maybe even what do you call, you can't even look the sport as a free time activity. If you want to take a professional career in a sport, you should be a professional in that. You can't just make fun out of it, or you make it as a fun activity. So blaming the country that we are not winning medals or anything like that is not something which we should be looking at. If we want to win medals, we have to put our effort and put our time and dedication into this. By saying this, this is our first sportscast about shooting. Rakshit has beautifully explained about equipments, rules, scoring system, and we even, I believe, we have covered the meme part of the shooting, which is trending right now on the Instagram. So this is the end of the sportscast first episode. Please stay tuned for the next episodes, which gonna be more interesting with more guests coming in and explaining their sport. Thank you, everybody.